A recent House Judiciary markup meeting, and Democratic Congresswoman Becca Balint of Vermont, she spoke out against threats that right-wing conspiracies have brought to the doorsteps of every American. Listen.
Witnesses have described threats to their families and to their children. They've described threatening letters being sent to their family members and having to move houses because their addresses have been posted online. Many of the 90 interviews that the committee has conducted this Congress have been with ordinary Americans, regular people who are just trying to do their jobs. This committee appears to be more interested in advancing conspiracy theories than in doing our jobs, serving the people we represent, those regular people.
Joining us now is Democratic Maryland Governor Wes Moore. He's also a member of the Biden-Harris campaign's National Advisory Board, and he's in person today. Welcome, Governor.
Thank you so much.
I hope you had a chance to catch some of our conversation. How concerned are you about the threats of political violence as we enter a very consequential election year?
I'm very concerned. I'm concerned because already I'm spending far too much time during my week meeting with our intelligence officials, meeting with our law enforcement, meeting with the FBI, watching how this rise of political threats continues to hit our state in a very real way. And I'm concerned when I'm looking at, I'm now putting more and more resources. You know, we just put over $1 million going towards homes of worship, that homes of worship could be hardened. So when people are going to worship their God, that they can feel safe. And so, you know, I think we have to make sure we're focusing on turning down the temperature. I think we have to make sure we're focusing on having a community that sees each other and can be more connected. And I think we need to harden our laws. I mean, we're introducing legislation. I'm personally introducing legislation in this legislative session to focus on the protection of election workers. Because as Dr. King said, laws don't change the heart, but laws do protect me from the heartless.
Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Maryland corner here. Just over the Maryland caucus right here, Governor, Lieutenant Governor. This is how we roll up in here on Saturday morning. Governor, so going beyond, you're saying that you're going to you have to put money on the ground to harden, and protect resources in our community, like our churches. I want to sort of step back from the sort of practical application of that. This is what I got to put in my budget. This is, I'm having this briefing or debriefing on these things. Talk a little bit about the human element. What is it about all of us now that we seem to lose sight of each other's humanity, and the easier thing to do is to lash out? I mean, you're a Democrat, I'm a Republican, so I'm not supposed to like you organically, right? Well, no, there's this guy I've known for a long time, and we've worked together, we've sparred and disagreed on things. But I'm not shortchanging your humanity. What do you see happening culturally that our politics is driving in a way that makes us look at each other as less than?
Yeah, I think we have a political system that's driving people from even having the opportunity to get to know each other, to get to be able to see their own humanity, right? Yeah. Where I think about it, where my training came from the military. I joined the military when I was 17 years old. I wasn't even old enough to sign the paperwork. My mother had to sign the paperwork for me, but she was more than happy after my teenage years. She was like, whatever y'all need. But I think about it where when I was leading soldiers in Afghanistan, do you know a question I never once asked my soldiers? What's your political party? It never got brought up. And I think about, in our first session, making Maryland the first state in this country that has a service year option for all of our high school graduates, where they now have a chance to have a year of service to the state of Maryland. Part of that's because we are big believers in experiential learning. We believe in earned financial cushions. We believe in workforce development and workforce training. But do you know a big reason why we wanted to get that done and get it done quick is because I believe deeply that service will save us. That in this time of this political divisiveness and vitriol, that if we can be a society that gets to know each other again and that can work on projects together, that can break down these lines and stop worrying about this idea of where the idea came from, then is it a good idea? Then we're going to be a society that actually advances in a true and a proper way, and one that honors our basic humanity, our basic decency.
Governor, you talked about houses of worship. We've also seen state capitals across this country receive bomb threats just in the past week. 6 state capitals. You had Wednesday morning, you had Georgia, Kentucky, Michigan, Mississippi, Montana, Maine. That's actually going back to January 3rd. You talked about the conversation you had with your intelligence officers. That's one piece of it. In some ways, I think you could almost argue that is the easier conversation to have than the conversation you need to have with your own kids. So my kids are younger than yours. There is no way to have that conversation with them in a way that is age appropriate. Your kids have access to the internet. They know what is going on. What are the conversations you're having at home? How do you even put this in context for them?
It's remarkably difficult. And I think not even just for my kids, who even for the process of the past year have had to go through this remarkable transition of now having a father in elected office, but just for them in general, with their friends, to see the images that are coming across social media and social media streams, and how damaging that can be for their basic development, and how development is already challenging. Puberty is already challenging, and now you have to deal with this increased ethos. I think one of the big things that we've been having conversations with our kids about is about this idea of exposure, but it's not exposure to the internet or exposure to social media. It's human exposure, because the more they can be exposed to other people, the more they can be exposed to other cultures, other backgrounds, people from different walks of life, the more they will have a better embrace of a larger and a greater humanity. And the more I think they will see themselves as part of a solution set and not necessarily as the prey. They understand the challenges coming their way, and we're helping them to appreciate the challenges coming their way. We want them to be empowered, to know that they have a chance to be part of a bigger solution. And that's also where I think we try to drive a lot of our conversations.
A more complicated question than moving them from Baltimore to Annapolis and getting them a puppy.
You know what? Every single time we had the opportunity to have a conversation with a local or a state leader, a governor or a mayor, it's just so different than speaking to a member of Congress, because it just really is.
Yes, it is.
It's like, okay, well, the governors seem to be figuring it out. Maybe not Greg Abbott, but all other folks. Is that how you feel sometimes? It's like you have seen state leadership and local leaders across the country be able to come together and in a bipartisan way when necessary and get things done. I think it's a split screen from what we're seeing on Capitol Hill.
Well, it's funny. I remember someone said to me, they're like, what made you want to run for get into politics? And I said, I didn't. I wanted to be the governor. Because it is different, right? I mean, I think about in our first legislative session, we introduced 10 bills. And we ended up not just going 10 for 10 on our legislative package, we went 10 for 10 bipartisan with both Democrat and Republican support. And people said, well, how were you able to get Republicans to vote yes on increasing a minimum wage to $15, which we're able to do? How did you get Republicans to vote yes on being able to have an earned income tax credit and a child tax credit and making it permanent and having the most aggressive assault on child poverty in our state's history? How did you get, how did you focus on getting the service share option done or giving the largest tax cut to military veterans in a generation in the state of Maryland? And the answer was simple. We actually went and had conversations with them. We went to their communities. And Michael knows as a lieutenant governor, when you go out and you actually go out to communities, even communities that you think historically might not have voted for you in the first place, but you let them know, I'm planning on being your governor too. It's amazing the kind of response that not just they will get, but that they will force their representatives to give your package of bills.
It makes a difference. Very personal. I will note, Maryland has a very short legislative session. Okay, it's like 90 days, so you got to pack it in.